Hello and welcome to another instalment of Great QI. My name is Shelley Wreford. I'm a Quality Improvement Advisor for Birmingham and Solihull Mental Health Foundation Trust. In the last coffee break video, you may remember we introduced the concept of measurement by focusing on why we measure in QI, when we measure in QI, and the different types of measurement in QI. Today, we are going to build on that knowledge and talk about how we measure in QI with the introduction to run charts. This coffee break video is part one of two short videos looking at run charts. In this first part, we will be introducing run charts and the concept of data over time and explaining why this is an important aspect of quality improvement work. In part two, we will explore in more depth how to create and interpret run charts. Let's start with a recap. You may remember this image from the previous coffee break QI videos. This is the model for improvement, consisting of three fundamental questions and the plan, do, study, act cycle. The model for improvement is the framework for developing, testing and implementing the changes that underpin improvement efforts. As mentioned in the previous coffee break videos, the first task of any improvement team is being clear about what it is they are trying to accomplish. In other words, develop a project aim. Once the team has established their aim, they need a way of understanding whether their improvement efforts are going to help them achieve this aim. This is where measurement comes in. Measurement in quality improvement work is the answer to question 2 of the model for improvement. In quality improvement work, measurement is used as a means for learning rather than a tool for judgment or comparison. This is because we understand that although improvement nearly always requires change, not all changes are going to lead to improvements. By measuring the impact of any changes we make over time, we can better understand which changes are improvements and which aren't. When we talk about measurement in quality improvement, we usually mean the process of collecting data over time and displaying it in a run chart. So, what are run charts? Simply put, a run chart is a graphical display of data plotted in some type of order. They are often used in quality improvement work to display data because they are simple to create and easy to interpret. Further to this, when used correctly, run charts can provide a meaningful way of understanding how a system works and the impact of any changes we're making to it. There are a handful of crucial components to a run chart that need to be in place in order for it to help furnish our learning as we undertake quality improvement work. These are 2 axes, usually with dates over time displayed on the horizontal axes and numerical ordering in the vertical axes, at least 10 individual data points, a median line to show the middle number of your data points, and annotations to explain the events that are happening which could be having an impact on the data displayed in your run chart. We will explore in more depth why each element is important in part 2 of our run chart coffee break videos. For now, you just need to know that these elements exist. To better demonstrate how run charts can provide a meaningful way of understanding how a system works and the impact of any changes we are making to it, it might be useful to look at 2 different ways of displaying the same data. First up, bar graphs. For anyone who's undertaken a clinical audit, you'll recognise the data displayed in the chart format like this. Whilst data presented like this can be useful for showing before and after comparisons, bar charts and similar formats make it very difficult for us to understand what has happened in between. Here, we can only see how many needle stick injuries there were at the beginning of June and how many there were 6 months later. With so few data points and the absence of a narrative to accompany this data, it would be very difficult for anyone to deduce what led to the improvement we are apparently seeing here. Now let's look at this data in a run chart. By looking at data over time, as opposed to snapshots like in the bar graphs from the previous slide, data can begin to tell us a story. It is this story or learning that we are interested in when undertaking quality improvement work. Time series data like this better illustrates what has happened or is happening to a system when we've tried to change it, therefore helping us better understand the impact of our improvement work. Crucially, the main differences between this run chart data and the data in the bar graphs you saw on the previous slide is the regularity of data collection and the accompanying narrative. By collecting data on a monthly basis as opposed to 6 months apart and displaying this in a run chart, the story of the improvement is much more visible. Supported through the use of PDSA testing, regular data collection like this helps improvement teams know which changes are effective, which aren't, and where adaptations need to be explored and developed. There are a number of ways in which run charts can be used to support quality improvement efforts, but here are our top 3. Number 1, at the start of a quality improvement project, run charts can make the process visible, the current process visible. By collecting baseline data and plotting this in a run chart, we gain an understanding of how a system is working before we make any changes to it. Number 2, during a quality improvement project, run charts help us see whether the changes we are making to a system are having the desired impact and leading to improvements in real time. Number 3, after a quality improvement project, run charts can help teams monitor whether the improvements they had made during their project work have led to sustained improvements to the system. In summary, the beauty of run charts is in their simplicity. Run charts are not only simple to create, but simple to interpret. Run charts not only make improvement data more accessible, but more meaningful too. Frequency matters. Rather than just at the beginning and at the end, data and quality improvement projects should be collected as often as possible. The more often you're able to collect data, the better you'll be able to understand what is happening to a system when we make changes to it. Data is for learning. Run charts not only make improvement data more accessible, but more meaningful too. Supported through the use of PDSA testing, this sort of regular data collection and the display of data over time helps improvement teams know which changes are effective, which aren't, and where adaptations are needed to be explored and developed. Thank you for tuning into our coffee break QI video today. Please join us for our next coffee break session looking at how to create and interpret run charts. Alternatively, please contact us via email, through Connect, or at our Twitter handle. Many thanks.